What's going on, y'all? Today we got why Michael Jordan is better than Bill Russell. Let's get into it. See what's up.
Discussed your top 10 NBA players, your top 5. If you've ever debated who's the GOAT, then you've heard the argument that Bill Russell is better than Michael Jordan because Bill Russell has 11 rings and Michael Jordan has 6.
I heard that before.
Usually if you're hearing that argument, it's because somebody's trying to make the case for LeBron James. But just like a lot of the other arguments, this doesn't help LeBron. If you actually believe that,
Yeah, I'm about to say that would make sense. That would never help LeBron.
Then LeBron is not the GOAT because Bill Russell is better than LeBron. You don't hear this argument much on TV
and that wouldn't
because
help LeBron neither, because LeBron don't got more rings than Mike. So that doesn't even make sense. Like, it literally does not make any sense. Like, why would you say that to help LeBron?
Those guys know this is not a good argument. You might be able to find some clips of them in the past, maybe slipping up and forgetting and mentioning it, but they don't want to stand on that hill and debate with this argument.
Oh my God.
Usually casuals will say this and bring up Bill Russell. That's a good way to spot a casual if they start talking about Bill Russell, 11 rings better than Michael Jordan 6. And I don't even have to talk about the different eras that Bill Russell and Michael Jordan played in. I'll talk about it at the end, but to prove that Michael Jordan is better, we don't even need to go there. Most people don't know that Bill Russell is not a two-way player. He's mainly a defensive player. And he's one of the greatest defensive players the league has ever seen. He was definitely the greatest defensive player in his era. But in his career, he averaged just 15 points per game. Now that's not bad. 15 points per game is definitely not bad, but that's not elite either. He finished his career with just 14,000 points. Wilt Chamberlain played against Bill Russell, and Wilt Chamberlain averaged 30 points a game in his career, and he scored 31,000 points in his career. So he scores more than double the points that Bill Russell scored. Wilt Chamberlain is showing you what an elite scorer looks like, and Bill Russell doesn't even come close. And for Michael Jordan, he has the NBA record of 10 scoring titles. And you would think that Wilt Chamberlain would have that record because he scored 100 points in a game. And everybody always says, oh, back then the defense wasn't as good. That's why he scored 100. But Wilt Chamberlain only had...
I hate that argument too. Like, you can't say that, bro, because he's playing against against his competition. Nobody knew 70 years down the line, there's gonna be kids out here pulling threes and all that from half court. Nobody knew that. You know, the game evolves. You know what I'm saying? He played who was in front of him. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the amount of dominance you had in your era. If you're dominating your era, your competition, you know, your generation, that just goes to show that you're a great player. It's it. You can't take that away from them just because they born in that time. Like, you can't ever do that.
Has 7 scoring titles. So for Bill Russell, how can you be the greatest player ever if your offense is just average? So let's look at the all-time scoring list. We don't even need to look at Wilt Chamberlain. We'll just look at other centers and other big men. Let's see what they were able to do in their careers. We're going to look at the top 25. Patrick Ewing, center for the New York Knicks. He scored 24,000 points in his career. Kevin Garnett, he scored 26,000 points in his career. Tim Duncan, 26,000 points. Hakeem Olajuwon, 26,000 points. Moses Malone, 27,000 points. Shaquille O'Neal, 28,000 points. Dirk, 31,000 points. Karl Malone, 36,000 points. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 38,000 career points. Remember, Bill Russell scored just 14,000 points in his career, and he's getting blown out of the water by all of these other centers. And all of these guys are terrific elite defenders, except for maybe Dirk and Karl Malone. But everybody else, they're known as pretty good defenders. So even if Bill Russell is a little bit better defensively than these guys, they crush him on offense. So how can Bill Russell be the GOAT when his offense is average? You play both sides of the ball in basketball. You can't ignore one side and say he was so good defensively that he's just better than everybody else. But he's getting destroyed offensively by not just people in his own era.
If somebody is that good, or what side of the ball, and it's tipping the scale that much. I'm saying the proof is in the pudding, bro. You can't ignore the facts.
Not just the great Wilt Chamberlain,
not
but
in this situation.
pretty much every other star center that we've seen come into the NBA. If Bill Russell scored 25,000 points in his career, then you could still say that he's an elite scorer because he would be up there with everybody else. You could say his defense puts him over the top.
See, I don't like his arguments. I don't like the arguments Chris Smooth is making. You know what I'm saying? I don't really hold him to high standards. It's not like bro's a basketball analyst or anything. He's really a 2K YouTuber. Well, used to be a 2K YouTuber. He does a little bit of basketball analysis now. I should give him his props for that mouthful because he definitely does a little play-by-play on his channel as well. But yeah, bro, the longevity stats is cool, but you can't really use that because he's playing in an era where there's not too much. You know what I'm saying, if you get hurt, it's probably not too much they could do. You know, it's on God. You know what I'm saying? It's on God to heal you up, boy. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what's going on back then. We don't even know what's going on. You know, they probably get injured. They probably go to the doctor. They probably can't even do nothing for them. Give them an ice pack like the school days, you know? Like, come on, man. But that's what I got to say about that. You can't really use the longevity stats because a lot of the times old school players' careers are shorter. There's more medicine. There's everything is, the technology is better, bro. Players are going to be able to play for longer and longer as we go on in time, as the game evolves, as the whole world evolves.
There's not much of a difference between 25,000 points and 27,000 or 28 or maybe even 30.
That's why I don't really
it's not
like the
too
longevity
far
stats
off.
with the LeBron argument either, bro. It's like, bro, I mean, yeah, but it's like, you know.
And then, of course, if Bill Russell scored that many points in his career, he would have some scoring titles to go with it too, but Bill Russell has 0 scoring titles. Now we have to take a look at these rings. Bill Russell, he does have 11 rings. It's funny though, he actually lost in the finals. Russell made it to.
At least Chris was looking at the full body of work though. He's not just using one thing and making his argument off of one thing. He's looking at a whole lot of things, you know, and making his argument.
The finals 12 times, and he won 11 times. And Bill Russell, his teams were stacked. He played with 7 different Hall of Fame players in his career. He didn't have 7 Hall of Famers on his team every year, but most years he did. Like in 1960, he had 7, from Frank Ramsey to Bob Cousy, Sam Jones, KC Jones, Bill Sharman. I mean, this is insane. So imagine that. You start the game, all 5 starters are Hall of Fame players. Then when you go to the bench, you got 2 more Hall of Fame.
During the time they was playing, it wasn't Hall of Famers. They did not become Hall of Famers till after. You know, that just goes to show that they played well together, maybe. You know, but I don't really like the Hall of Fame argument either because they're not Hall of Famers until it's all said and done. Until they look back at the body, the work that you just put in. You know, it's not.
Hall of Fame players coming in, and that's what's so funny about Bill Russell losing that one time in the finals. He's played with more Hall of Fame players on his team than anybody else in history, and even he took an L in the NBA Finals. That's what makes the Jordan 6-0 Finals so special, because some people even try to say that Jordan had a super team. He had too many Hall of Famers. Obviously, the first three-peat, he's with Scottie Pippen. In the second three-peat, he has Dennis Rodman. People try to act like Dennis Rodman created some big three. Dennis Rodman scored a whopping 6,000 points in his career. He averaged 7 points a game. It's not like he was out there dropping 25 plus.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? But you're missing the value. You're missing the value of having Dennis Rodman on your team. The value of Dennis Rodman is not he's going to go out there and score 25. He's going to go out there and do all the dirty work for you. He's going to go out there and bang guys up. He's going to go out there and get in the guy's head. He's going to go out there and grab 10, 12 rebounds, 10, 15 rebounds, you know? Things like that. It's the little things that Dennis Rodman adds to your team and brings to your squad, bro. You know what I'm saying? That it's bad arguments bros making right now, and I don't like it. I don't like it. You know?
Going crazy, drawing double teams, creating mismatches. He was mainly a defender and a rebounder. But they want to act like Jordan in the second three-peat. They're acting like Dennis Rodman is Dwayne Wade or Anthony Davis or Chris Bosh or Kyrie. And that's...
Okay, so this is about LeBron. Okay, that's what it's about. Okay, I see what it's about now. It's about LeBron. This is really a video just to hate on LeBron, bro. Because what are you talking about? Why are you talking about only LeBron's teammates? He literally named all LeBron's teammates right there. You know,
it's just not the case.
Ridiculous.
Also, for Bill Russell, there was no three-point line when he was playing. So just imagine how different the game is if there isn't even a three-point line. The three-point line didn't come until the 1979 season. So when you look at the era today where LeBron is playing, and then you look at what happened in the early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, right? Like in today's NBA, if you accidentally hit somebody too hard, it's a flagrant foul. But in the 80s and the 90s, you could just clap somebody,
bro.
and it's a common foul. And people try to make fun of Jordan losing to the Pistons in the 80s. But you saw in The Last Dance, if that Pistons team were playing today, the whole team would get ejected and suspended and banned from the NBA. They wouldn't even be able to play. And while Jordan was taking his beatdowns, he never gave up. He just continued to work on his game. He kept coming back season after season, and he eventually got his revenge and then took over and dominated the decade. So even though when you look at the 80s and the 90s and you compare it to today's basketball, yeah, the eras were a little bit different. The rules were slightly different, but it wasn't as different as Bill Russell not even having a three-point line. This is why I said you're only going to hear from casuals that Bill Russell is better than Michael Jordan. Everybody else, they already know this stuff. They're well aware of this. That's why you don't really hear it too much. It only comes up when people are trying to make the argument for LeBron James. There's really no way to get around.
He is chatting. Now he's just chatting because that doesn't even... Think about it, y'all. Think about it. Why would you bring up Bill Russell's 11 rings if you're making an argument for LeBron James? LeBron has the least rings for any player in the GOAT conversation. Why would you bring up a player with the most rings if you're trying to cape for LeBron? Is bro realizing what he's saying right now? He's just like eating mad LeBron. You already know. If you're from New York, you know about
the
to
greatness
say,
of Jordan's rings.
Like, why
you just have to do better than Jordan did. A lot of people get so frustrated by that standard of greatness, they just want to ignore it and act like it didn't happen.
I've never seen somebody
Michael Jordan's perfect
to cape for LeBron. I've never seen that. I've never seen somebody say Bill Russell got 11 rings, you know, so that's why LeBron's better than Jordan. What?
Efficiency in the NBA Finals is a major problem for anybody trying to be known as the GOAT. 6-0 in the finals, 2 3-peats. That standard is incredibly high. If there's ever a player that enters this league and the first time he gets to the finals, he wins, and then the next season he repeats, and then after that he three-peats, you're gonna hear people saying, uh-oh, this guy's better than Michael Jordan. Even though this guy would only have 3 rings, the hype would be there in his career that, uh-oh, he just did something that Jordan did. And then after that three-peat season, if it happened, they'd be saying, can he go for 4 straight? Because Jordan never went 4 straight. So if he can go for 4 straight, uh-oh, the hype train would be there. It would be insane. In the comment section, give me your thoughts and continue to give me your arguments so I can make more videos talking about them.
But another thing is, it's not even really about the rings. It solidifies your greatness. But if you're not competing at the level, and you're not dominating at a level as Jordan was or above, it's not gonna be. No one's gonna say that. No one's gonna say that. You got to be dominating the game and dominating your opponents at the level or above the level that Jordan was, bro. Jordan was just, you know, he was ahead of his time. He ahead of his competition. You know, but if y'all enjoyed this one, let's see what's...
I think the discussion is hilarious because a lot of people, when they make an argument, they think they're helping LeBron when they're actually not. Like I said...
Yeah, I never heard somebody make that argument for LeBron, though. I don't know. Maybe he has. I never heard that argument for LeBron, but I guess.
In the last video, when they said LeBron never lost in the first round, that doesn't help LeBron James, but they're smiling about it and acting like it was, I mean, it's just hilarious. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hopefully you're no longer a casual. You won't.
Yeah, okay. So this is just a LeBron versus Jordan video, basically. I guess he tried to debunk the people that was using Bill Russell as a way to help LeBron. I don't even know what he's yo, bro. This is ridiculous. I'm out of here though, man. If y'all enjoyed, turn on post notifications. Y'all know what to do, man.